Good morning, everybody. Today we're going to talk about subtracting integers and reviewing that information. So, subtracting integers. All right, so something to keep in mind is subtraction is just adding, I know that sounds weird, but it is adding the opposite of the next number. So one way that a lot of people remember this is something called KCC. Keep the first number the same. Number the same. Change the minus sign to plus. So that's the adding part. And then change again the second number to its opposite. So that's adding the opposite. And then it becomes an addition problem because it's become a plus or adding problem. And then we can use the rules that we talked about earlier. All right, so KCC, keep, change, change. So that's what we're going to keep in mind today. Keep, change, change. So remember, keep the first number, keep the first number the same. Change the minus sign to a plus sign, and then change the second number to its opposite. All right, so here's our first example. We've got, let's say we want to do -4 minus 3. All right, so if we want to do keep, change, change, remember this first keep means keep the first number the same. The first C is change the minus sign to a plus sign. So I'm going to change this minus sign to a plus sign. And then the second here, the second C is to change the second number to its opposite. So it's a +3 right now. I'm going to change that to a -3. So now our problem becomes -4 plus -3. And -4 plus -3, now we say, oh, they have the same sign. Remember this, same sign. From last time, if they have the same sign, we add them together because the two arrows don't overlap. So if I add these two together, I get 7. And then we use the sign of whatever number they have because the arrows are going in the same direction. So the answer is -7. Okay, same sign. Remember, we're going to add the numbers and then use the sign. Use the same signs. Okay, so it's -7. And that's how you do it. Keep the first number. We change the minus to a plus and do the opposite of the second number. And then it becomes an addition problem. All right, so let's look at another example of something that could come up. Example number 2. I could have 5 minus a -10, something like this. All right, so if we want to do keep, change, change, keep, change, change, we want to keep the first number the same, so 5 is going to stay the same. We're going to take this minus sign and we're going to change it to a plus sign. And then we're going to take this -10 and we're going to change the sign of it. So it's not a -10 anymore, it's a +10. And our new problem becomes 5 plus 10. 5 plus 10 is 15. That's our answer. Okay, let's see, another example of something that could come up. Say I have -5 minus -2, something like this. All right, we want to do keep, change, change. So I want to keep the first number, so we're going to keep the first number the same. It's going to stay -5. We're going to change the minus sign to a plus sign. So here's our keep. Here's our first change. And then we're going to change the sign of the second number. So that's going to become from a -2 to a +2. So now our problem is -5 plus 2. -5 plus 2. Now remember, if they have different signs, we have to subtract. We have to subtract the numbers because the arrows would be going in opposite directions. So this was 5 minus 2 is 3. And then we have to use the bigger sign, which is the negative sign here. So there are more negatives than positives. So the answer is -3. So if you can remember how to do keep, change, keep the first number, change minus to plus, and then change to the opposite. So if it was a negative, it becomes positive. If it was positive, like this one here, it became negative. All right. Yeah. And then you can do this problem. Let's do one more, just in case. Just in case. So let's say I feel like we need to do one more. So let's say I have -12 minus 7, like that. Okay. We want to keep the first number. We want to change the sign, and then we want to keep the last number. Change the last number. So keep the first number. So -12. That's going to stay -12. Change minus to a plus. Change. See how it's a +7? It's going to become a -7. So now this becomes -12 plus -7. -12 plus -7 is -19. Remember, same sign we add. Same side, we add the numbers together, and we use the same sign. All right, so there you go. I think you guys can get this. Just remember to keep the first number, change minus to plus, and change to the opposite of the second number. All right, we'll talk to you later.